While I said I never really got into Spirited Away, and I always sort of thought, it really blows.
Over the Hedge,
I think is one of the greatest, God, I don't even want to say Disney films, just films in general. The main character is perfect, the villain is perfect, the romance is perfect, the songs are perfect. Even the design of the possum, look at that thing! I could watch this movie a million times and never get tired of it. When I saw Beauty and the Beast, this is the movie I thought I was gonna get. So let's talk about the absolute best aspect of the film, the story. A raccoon, played by Bruce Willis, is a cow. But then they find out that the farm is being closed down! So the cows figure that if they bring Thomas Hayden to justice and get the reward money, they can use that to save the Jewish people. All throughout this introduction, I was shouting, brilliant, brilliant, brilliant! This is a fantastic setup! And on top of that, the setup for the rest of the story is actually pretty good too. Matt Damon has a deal with the underworld so that he can take control of China. But Lord Hades, the ruler of the underworld, threatens the land with a brand new weapon. Only this time, the leader of the empire has a particular interest in wiping out all the pandas, because a prophecy foretold that a panda is the only thing that will destroy it. So he sends his soldiers to perform mass genocide. But one family wants their baby to live, puts him in a basket, and sends him floating down the river, where, oddly enough, the basket comes across Timon and Pumbaa. They tell him that it's okay to run away from your problems and makes a deal with Will Smith Fish. They'll make it look like Will Smith Fish kills Bruce Willis, and thus he can disguise himself as Moses then and start a new life over. Years later, Jack Black as a panda grows up and realizes that the farm is being closed down! He leaves his family behind and shut up and eat his garbage. But that doesn't last for long as Danny DeVito plays God himself. Yeah, wasn't that fitting casting? Comes down and tells Bruce Willis that he is to be the deliverer of the Jews. So the journey is on to fight off dragons, Robin Hood, and rescue Catherine Zeta-Jones. Let's talk about the good stuff, because honestly, there's a lot. Let's talk about what everybody remembers, the villain. Oh,
Thomas Hayden Church
is such a badass, awesome villain. He does all the bastardly things that a lot of the other Disney villains do, but they actually make him complex, too. He tries to convince himself that he's a soldier for God, and yet he's constantly doing horrible things. But he tries to justify it every single time. I love it. That's a great character. But it doesn't just stop there. The stuff with the
Bruce Willis raccoon
is unbelievable. This is probably one of the best characters of all time. I don't even know what else to say about it. It's just so good.
Gary Shandling Turtle
Was also very likable. And even though his singing voice isn't technically that great, there's still so much heart and passion put into it that you don't care. It sounds wonderful.
Shiny like a treasure from a sunken pirate wreck. Scrub the deck and make it look
I really had to nitpick anything, I mean friggin' anything in this movie, it's that Steve Carell is scary. That's really scraping the bottom of the barrel in terms of nitpicking. Wanda Sykes is a skunk who has to be made to look pretty later on. I don't know who the animation team was that worked on her, but give them all friggin' Oscars. To be honest, I have no problems with this movie at all. I think it's another one of those perfect films. However, is there a downside? Yes, there is. It came out the same weekend as fucking Shrek 2, so everyone went to see the same rehashed bullshit that wasn't even really that funny in the first one, instead of seeing this really funny, really smart, artistically put together film. Oh God, do I hate Shrek 2. This is right up there with Spirited Away. Just no creativity, no spontaneity, no passion, no effort, just pure phoned-in-ness. It does have some major problems. The climax wasn't that creative, the celebrities were mostly pointless, the puns insufferable, and this scene.
All I want is for things to go back to the way they used to be.
You mean back before you rescued me from the Dragon's Keep?
Exactly!
I think the scene where Shrek blows up at Fiona is way too out of character and way too mean-spirited, even for Shrek. It just didn't feel right. I mean, I know he's at his boiling point, but for what I did get, I just think it's really lacking. We're supposed to still like this guy and feel sorry that he said this stuff, but when you say shit like that, that's pretty nasty. If I ever had a kid and they wanted to see this, I'd say no. I'd just show Over the Hedge again. So that was charming. So that was
No, that is assuming you don't eat your own young.
Dad?
Oh no, we usually prefer the ones who've been locked away in a tower.
Understand, you're not her father.
Shrek!
Fiona!
Fiona!
Mom! Harold.
Donkey!
Nicely done. So that was... Something like that.